Hello friends, today we'll be discussing on a very important topic. What is emotional blackmail in a relationship? At some point in life or the other, according to the World Health Organization statistics, every person faces some kind of emotional blackmail at some point of life. Emotional blackmail is a form of disturbed relationship issues that happen in some close relationship where a person uses various forms of manipulations to get to do from you what they want. A person trying to emotionally blackmail you will instill feelings of anger, fear, or guilt to get you to comply with what they want and when they want it. Emotional blackmail in a relationship can be more or less subtle and appear as withholding of affection, disappointment, or even slight changes in body language and tone of voice. Regardless of the types of emotional blackmail, one thing is common with all emotional blackmail tactics is the element of threat. If you don't comply, there will be consequences. This is the heart of emotional blackmail in a relationship. What is the definition? Emotional blackmail is a form of interaction that happens when a close person seems to use our fears, secrets, weaknesses, or vulnerabilities to gain something they desire. They leverage what they know about us so we would fulfill their needs. There are various types of emotional blackmail. An individual can adopt either of the following tactics or a combination of them to emotionally blackmail their partner. The first type is the punisher. As the name suggests, in this kind of emotional blackmail step, an individual implores different forms of punishment or threats of punishment as a way to get what they want. Withholding affection, threats of ending the relationship, putting restrictions on their partner, anger, silent treatment, and even physical punishment and abuses. The second type of emotional blackmail is the self-punisher. Here the manipulation happens by using guilt or the suggestion of possible guilt to instill fear, threats of self-harm, blaming their partner for their problems and difficulties are some common threats used to trigger fear in others. The third kind of emotional blackmail is the sufferer. A sufferer holds their hopelessness over their partners, heads to get them to do what they need. They blame their problems due to their partner's actions and threaten them that if they don't do what they need, it will only add to their suffering. They depend on fear, obligation, and guilt to get what they want. The fourth type is the tantalizer. A tantalizer uses compensation or rewards to get something from you, but each time you pass one obstacle, there is another waiting and you just can't keep up. Promising some sort of remuneration, especially something that you need or desire, however, their promises rarely ever materializes. Today we are not seeing the solutions. We are only discussing what is emotional blackmail, what are the types of emotional blackmail, and what are the signs of emotional blackmail in a relationship. How do we understand the signs in emotional blackmail? It is not always easy to spot it, especially when the person attempting to manipulate is sophisticated and socially intelligent. Signs of emotional blackmail might not be evident immediately. So you could be blackmailed and not even be conscious of it or understand that you are undergoing a blackmail. Number 1, being accused of everything negative that happens. Do they blame you and avoid taking accountability for their actions? When in a relationship with a person who is emotionally blackmailing you, everything that goes on in the relationship or their life becomes your responsibility. Second, keeping you out of their good grace. Due to the blame shifting for every little thing, you feel like you are constantly apologizing and needing to earn back their affection. Even when you don't feel like you should, they twist the situation around quite skillfully so you think it is your fault and you apologize to them. When you're sorry for something, you need to earn back their affection, giving them the upper hand. Third, lack of compromise or true apology on their end. This is the third sign of emotional blackmail in a relationship. Instead of constantly apologizing on your side, they do not genuinely regret their actions or make any changes. You can tell it is an empty justification they are providing because they are unwilling to back it up with actions. The fourth sign is making you seem irrational for questioning them. Have you ever tried to bring some of their errors to light? Have they turned the tables not only to make it seem like it was your fault, but also make you appear illogical? They always have a way to rationalize their unreasonable requests, and you end up being the crazy one if you dare question them. The fifth sign of emotional blackmail is extorting sacrifices from you for their happiness. In the beginning, extortion can be more subtle, but it can become more apparent over a period of time. You begin doing anything you can so they would be pleased because your peace of mind is connected to their satisfaction. Therefore, you make more sacrifices than you might be willing, because only when they are satisfied you can count on some harmony in your life. The sixth sign of blackmail in an emotional relationship is intimidating you or threatening. Some of the more overt symptoms of emotional abuse involves threats to harm you, your close ones, or themselves. Intimidating you will get them what they want, so they might resort to this method if they feel nothing else is working. The seventh sign of emotional blackmail in a relationship is cosmetic concerns about your well-being. When in a relationship with a person who is emotionally blackmailing you, you feel like there is no room for your voice and needs unless they are somehow tied to their satisfaction of their desires. Eighth, and very important, setting boundaries in close to impossible. Not only do you feel heard, you feel you can't say no or push back. Any type of firm boundary is met with disappointment, withdrawal of affection, or more obvious signals of blackmail, such as threats. Boundaries could prohibit them from getting what they need from you. Therefore, you feel like standing up for yourself only makes things worse. When you try to push back, they often come after your sense of self-worth. The ninth sign of emotional blackmail in a relationship is controlling what you do. One of the most evident signals of emotional blackmail is the control they impose. If they were to lose it, they might lose everything they gain from you. Therefore, they will use fear, obligation, threats, and guilt to make sure you follow and obey. So in today's topic, we have covered what is the definition of emotional blackmail in a relationship. What are the various types of emotional blackmails? How this concept is very subtle and it takes a lot of self-awareness to understand it. And how to identify what are the signs. And we saw 9 signs of emotional blackmail in a relationship. In the upcoming videos, I will be discussing how to handle emotional blackmail in a relationship. At some point of time, I'm sure you have undergone this. If you could relate with what I spoke, please put your comments in the comment section of the YouTube. Like and subscribe my channel, and if you feel like, you can download the free app from the Google Store. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Saurabh Chaudhary, your ancient Indian Vedic ambassador.